I just don't know whether to drink this one or spray it. I'm talking about what is probably my favourite Gourmand fragrance at the moment. It's number 1 from House of Sillage. Let's dive in. Oh, and by the way, don't drink your perfume. Never drink your perfume. Just wanted to clear that up. I'd heard great things about this fragrance online, so I decided I just had to purchase myself a decant. So I did, I used it all up, absolutely adored this fragrance. When I went to Milan, I met the House of Sillage team. They were a great team, super friendly, really chatty, spent quite a bit of time with them actually, and I got the chance to explore their whole range of fragrances. I was very impressed. I think my favourite of them all still is number 1, which they very kindly gave me a bottle to talk to you about. So I'm very happy that I can finally share my thoughts on this fine Gourmand fragrance. So it's an Oriental, it came out in 2016. As you can see, this bottle is beautiful. Let's take a closer look at the bottle and the notes. Okay, we have some oud up top with amber and cinnamon. There's also some tonka, ginger, cloves, vanilla, mahogany and cedar. So bold as brass, this one opens with oud in the top notes. You don't often find oud in the top notes, or not that I've come across anyway. I think it really works here. I don't get anything too animalic or skanky at all. Definitely not the barnyard variety of oud used here. I think it just seems to add some structure, some backbone and some attitude to the fragrance. So it opens strongly, it opens with a punch. Also from the outset you get the amber, so you get a lovely rich texture, that indulgent amber. So again, both notes that you might find further down the pyramid of a fragrance, but you're finding these in the top notes, which is quite interesting. It just starts really boldly. It's no Hesperidic notes in the top that then lead down to some darker, more mature notes in the bottom. It opens up strongly from the beginning. Also in the beginning you get the spices. So there's some ginger, some cinnamon and some cloves in this. And these spices to me just seem to have like a spicy zinginess to them. They create this really satisfying pop, so it really does pop off the skin. So as well as this kind of backbone and this attitude and these rich, thick, indulgent notes, the spices are just really lifting this one off the skin at the same time, so they're just balancing perfectly. And we've not even got into the base notes yet. Finishing off in the heart, there's the tonka, but I feel this tonka runs very clearly through into the base. And then listed as the base notes, there's some vanilla, some mahogany and some cedar. So vanilla is obviously providing this lovely rich creamy sweetness, and then the woods are giving a nice kind of sweet woody resinous nature. Something else that I get from this, which isn't a listed note or an accord, is caramel. So it must be some of the other notes combining to create this lovely rich creamy smooth sweet caramel. Absolutely delicious. I also get a bit of a cherry or almondy like accord to this one as well. Overall, the composition reminds me of walking into a patisserie, so that beautiful smell of baking and pastries and sweet desserts. Another scent that gives me the same kind of feeling is Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, and this is very similar to that, although it does have its differences, which I'll go into now. I find this one has more structure, more backbone, more attitude, just more to it really, more full-bodied. It's not as shouty, it's not as loud as Tobacco Vanille. I think Tobacco Vanille does fill a room when you spray it on. If those two fragrances were characters at a party, Tobacco Vanille would be stood in the centre of the room shouting, "Hey, look at me everybody, I smell awesome, and you all know it because you can all smell me." And House of Sillage number 1 would be maybe stood more to the edge of the room, confidently leaning on a wall, smiling to himself, thinking, "Hey, I know I smell awesome, and soon all you guys are gonna smell me." So maybe that conveys the differences between those two fragrances. Who knew I was going to turn fragrances into characters? Not me, but it just happened. Anyway, let's move on. Performance is A+. I get 3 to 4 hours of a really good projection. Sillage is fantastic. I wore this the day I was leaving Milan and I was traveling home with George, the fragrance apprentice, and George was walking behind me and he just commented on how strong and how big the Sillage trail was of this one. So great Sillage. Longevity also fantastic. You're going to get 10 hours plus. It doesn't die away quickly at all. In terms of occasions, it's fairly versatile actually. It does have some heavier, darker notes, but overall the composition of the fragrance isn't too heavy, so I could quite easily wear this all year round. I think autumn and winter it would excel. I could definitely wear it in warmer months, particularly here in the UK, although on hot days I would probably go easier on the trigger. I think it would work really well as a night out scent, a date night scent. So when Jeremy's Date for Men comes out at some point, then I think it's going to have to be really, really good to compete with this one. Let's talk about the price. It is luxury niche, so the price does reflect that. If you're based in the US, which is where the company is based, so it's definitely easier to get hold of this in the US than in the UK. House of Sillage is selling this on their website for $285, and that'll get you 75ml of EDP. You can also buy this at Saks Fifth Ave, which seems to be about $240. The cheapest place online I found is Fragrance X. It's selling for £200. I'm not sure what that equates to in dollars. In the UK, less easy to get hold of. I'm surprised that there aren't more outlets in the UK for this one actually. I would have thought that Harrods or Selfridges would be stocking a brand like this one. They certainly didn't come up on a Google search, so correct me if I'm wrong. If any of the UK department stores do sell this, it would be really useful information if you could provide that in a comment, and then I can always add that to the description of the video. So if you're based in the UK, I think Fragrance X is your best bet because they do ship worldwide. Obviously you're going to add a bit of shipping onto that, so I think it'd come to maybe £220–230 there and thereabouts. So we are talking a fairly high price for this, but it is a really nice scent. Try and get a sample if you can. In summary, this is a Gourmand with attitude. It's got fantastic performance, big potential for compliments, but more importantly, when you spray this, you're gonna be in Gourmand heaven all day. I just wish that companies that release fragrances like this would release a drinkable version as well. That'd be a great little gimmick. I don't think anyone's ever done that. So fragrances that are gourmand and do smell delicious, if they could just provide just a little kind of shot-sized drinkable version, that would be great. Thank you. Okay, that's it. I'm glad I could bring you this little slice of Gourmand heaven. Do you know this house? If you've tried all the fragrances and you own any of them, do let me know. Is this one your favourite, or do you have another favourite from the line? Drop a comment down below. I hope you found this video useful. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Remember, keep tuning into FM and keep smelling good.